Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I go by the name Tari, aka the coolest advocate. Yeah, that's right. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications. Before anything else, please just press that like button, that subscribe button, and turn on those post notifications. You're gonna want to come back, right? If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much. You know, I can never ever thank you guys enough for all the consistency and for all the support and love that you guys show me on every single video that I post, and you know, the DMs that I get, especially on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. I really appreciate it. You guys are the coolest. Thank you guys for staying with me. We are officially on 1K subbies. That is amazing. And you know, hopefully as time goes by, we're going to have reached the watch time that is required for us to actually become monetized, right? So we're halfway there. Keep watching these videos to the end. Keep watching all the story times. Watch the vlogs. Watch the legal content as well. You could learn a thing or two. So I did promise you guys that I was going to do a story time. So I have not done a real story time in a long time, the traditional way. So I thought, let's just throw it back. One of my subbies, but she's also just like a friend from high school type of thing, she was like, shout out to Yandi, because she's been loyal since varsity, bruh. She used to love my threads before I even started this YouTube channel. She's one of those people that just used to enjoy my threads on WhatsApp, because I used to post these fire threads. Like, instead of doing an actual video story time, I would post threads. You're hurting me. Guys, Mila is like such a menace in my life. Like, stop. So anyways, yeah, so Yandi was like to me, you know what, ever since you went to that bar of yours, she's like, ever since you became an advocate and you went to that bar of yours, it's like that's all you ever talk about. Professor this, professor that, professor this, professor this. You're not giving us story times. Like, I genuinely miss the consistency, like, of, you know, our story times. And the truth is, guys, I really wish I could give you guys story times, because my life still is a bit dramatic. Not as dramatic as it used to be before. Like, I mean, I've grown a lot, and you know, I'm making better choices. Not that much. It's just that now I'm a bit more discreet about my bad choices, you know. But yeah, like, the thing is, I'm always busy. It's not because like I'm need to do story times. It's like I'm always busy, and I've got like such a high demand of like different kind of content, and I've been feeling under pressure to like do a lot more of the legal content, forgetting that there are also people that are here that are actually not interested in the legal field at all. However, today's story time, whether you're interested in the legal field or not, I mean, it is a story time that includes the legal field to some extent, because I keep telling you guys, gotta stop getting married in community of property. I keep telling you guys that lobola is a marriage, but people don't listen. You only want to hear when tough. That's when you realize, we've been telling you guys this for the longest time. And that's exactly what today's story time is about. So just before you start getting confused, I am not married. I thought I'd be married by 25 with kids in a mansion and all of that. It's not how it's working out. Practice has me by the neck, and and I'm still making bad choices in men. Nothing has changed in that department. Not really, not much anyway. So yeah, the story time is actually about a very close friend of mine. So usually I don't do story times about like my friends' personal lives, unless of course that person has approved, or you know what, let's do it, just go ahead and do the story time. But obviously don't say my actual name, and don't mention me in the story time, like, right? Because I give people pseudonyms, right? Some people I give pseudonyms depending on the story time that we're telling, and you know what the context is. Some people I don't give pseudonyms. I just tell it like it is. Like, yo, I was going out to Zuzuki, we did 1 2 3, we did 1 2 3, because that's just how it is, right? So for the purpose of the story time, we're going to call my friend Naledi. I hope I don't get names mixed up. Yeah, we're going to call my friend Naledi. And I do have a very close friend called Naledi. So guys, please don't mix things up and think that I'm talking about that Naledi. That Naledi is not married, and like, this is not about her. She's not married, she doesn't have kids, it's none of that stuff. So we're just going to call this person, this close friend of mine, Naledi, in this instant, right? Okay, so Naledi and I, we kind of grew up together, like in Matsulu, like when I was still staying at my grandpa's house, when I was still very young, very young. we were friends, right? We're friends in the sense that we see like our grandpas were friends and stuff like that, and then we also became friends through that. Like we kind of just grew up together. But of course, you know how life is. I went to go stay in town with my mom and wada wada wada, and the rest is history. First I actually moved to hostel, and then after that I just moved and went to stay somewhere else. And so, but we stayed in touch, we stayed friends all the way up until adulthood. We've been cool, right? But there was a period in our lives where we were not in touch. Not that we're not friends, we're just not in touch. I was in varsity, she was also in varsity college, doing her own thing and whatnot, and just, you know, life, it'd be like that sometimes, right? And then eventually one day you do actually go back to the same place, and you bump into each other somewhere, and then it's just like no love lost, and you just hit it off from there. I'm gonna kill Mila. All right, and so my puppy is really misbehaving right now, and it's really pissing me off. But anyways, sorry about that, guys. That's why any more abuse, what it's because she's really pissing me off. So anyways, I did tell you guys that I'm going to be doing story time the traditional way, and the traditional way means that I need to have poured a drink, right, in order for me to be able to tell the story. And I'm going to be drinking my favorite girly. I'm going to be drinking my favorite girly. So I actually only bought one because I am trying to quit drinking ciders completely. I'm trying to quit drinking alcohol altogether, but at this point in time, ciders are my biggest enemy, right? But because I'm really loyal to this girlie and I really love her, I just feel like if I can just have one, at least it will quench that thirst, you know. It will another energy that will help me to, you know, yeah. So Mila's shocked that I slapped her, but she's not really shocked because she's back. So yeah, I give you my girl. Savvy. Cheers. So yeah, guys, get your drinks, fill up your glasses, fill it up with wine, whatever it is. I'm drinking cognac. After this, I'm gonna just go straight to cognac. I'm gonna be on that any. But yeah, right now I'm gladly and proudly having my girlie. And it's story time, guys. It's story time. So Naledi and I, like I said, there was a period in our lives when we were not in touch. Naledi was at a different place in life. I was at a different place in life. But at the same time, you know, like I said, no love lost, sharp. So Naledi met a guy, and for the purposes of the story, we need to give this guy a nickname. Let's call him Lebu. Let's call him Lebu. Lebu Khan or Lebu. Yeah, Lebu. So Naledi meets Lebu, and they hit it off, right? They kick it off, and it's nice and stuff. But this is still in like so I'm even scared of saying my age like out loud to myself. Like, not that I'm embarrassed, but like to myself, I'm just like, how am I that old? But yeah, it was a few years ago, actually quite a lot of years ago, because these two have been together for a very long time now, right? And so I think I was still in varsity. I was definitely still in varsity. I think I may have even been in my second year in varsity during that time. So they met, let's just say they met in 2014, 15. I was in varsity in 2015, but they met like around that time. That's when they started dating. So Naledi is also a bit older than me. She is actually 3 years older than me. So she was a bit like, at that time, I was much younger than she was. So Ulebu had a baby mama. Okay, some people, they don't see that as a deal breaker, dating somebody with a child. Other people, it's definitely a deal breaker. Like, you know, for some people, they want to experience everything with one person for the first time, right? Like, I would love to experience my first child, my childbirth, my child, you know, raising that child. I would like to experience that with somebody who's never experienced it also for the first time, right? And so So not everybody is like that. So una lady, she meets Lebu, she really likes Lebu. For some reason, the word Tom keeps coming to my mind. So if for some reason I accidentally say Tom, please just forgive me. I'll because I don't know, I keep thinking of Tom. Maybe I should have used the name Tom, but let's just stick to Lebu. So she meets Ulebu, and he's already got a child, right? He's got a child with this girl. When they were dating with this girl was in high school, and then girl fell pregnant just after high school. So as she was about to go to university, she fell pregnant with Ulebu's child. And then by virtue of her falling pregnant, she's a PK, which means pastor's kid. For those of y'all that don't know, we're going to call the girl Amanda. So Amanda is Lebu's baby mama. So Amanda is not somebody that we know. She's not somebody from our neighborhood. She's not somebody from our kasi. She's not somebody from around town in general. So asmati, right? Akusimuntu esimjwayele, akusimuntu esmati wesmati njengeligama ukuthi kuna Amanda ngumakwemntwana wa Lebu, right? Cool, no problem. Now lady's like, no, I like this guy. She dates Lebu. They've been dating for a very long time, right? So what had happened was Lebu and Amanda, they also dated for a while, I guess throughout high school, and then just immediately after she finished high school, when she was supposed to go to university, Amanda falls pregnant, and then they have a son. So because she's also a PK and all of that, there's a lot of pressure. Mila, stop it, jeez, it's so annoying. Leave me alone. There's a lot of pressure, and her parents want her to get married. Her parents want damages and all of that stuff. So it's one of those things, right? But according to Lebu, that's not how the story goes. According to Lebu, his family agrees. Could say, okay, umoshile mntwana bandu vele kufuna uyobhadala inhlawulo, kufuna uyokhishwa inhlawulo. And I think inhlawulo is like a cow, and then I don't know, and something else that they do. I don't really know the traditions of inhlawulo because it also differs from culture to culture, right? So it also differs from tradition to tradition, culture to culture, custom to custom, basically, that type of thing. And pay attention when I talk about custom to custom, because people's customs are not the same. And even in the law, customs are not the same. So what may be a marriage to one family is not a marriage to the next family in terms of customs. Okay? So pay attention. We're going somewhere with this. Okay, cool. So they go to her house, they do the whole thing. Okay, I'm the father of the child, jan. But obviously that's done the opposite way when you're pregnant, at least in my culture. As a Swati speaking person, when you do get pregnant, even though I'm not Swati, but this is so weird. But anyways, in my culture, as a Swati speaking person, raised in a Swati kind of tradition, Tsonga people, that all of that, nje, whatever the combination of what my culture is, if you get pregnant, you go with your family to the guy's house, and then like you go to tell the family. You don't speak obviously, but your family goes and speaks on your behalf to say that we've brought this girl here. This girl here says that she's been seeing your son, and now this and this has happened, and wada, that type of thing. So, but within Tlaulo, the guy has to go to the girl's house after Babi Sisu, and then they have to pay damages. It's just really just that simple. So Lebo explains that this has happened and whatnot. Chilled vibes. I mean, guys, it's bangana in any case for all of these things. So at that point in time, I'm also in my first year of school, and I'm not in touch with Naledi, right? So I don't really have any context of what's happening in her life, and also I'm not even a qualified lawyer at that time. I haven't even gotten through like first semester of modules whenever they met, so I wouldn't have even been in a position to give her advice. Maybe I would have, depending on when I did customary law, but that was, when did I do customary law? It doesn't matter. I think I did it in the second semester of my first year. Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure, but either way, and in any case, I wouldn't have been able to help at that time because Nami was clueless. So long story short, bayajola, they date for a while, Lebo and my friend Naledi, and then me and Naledi, we reconcile, we hit it off like from where we last, we're different individuals now, we're grown-ups and all of that, and we're at different places in life. She's dating this guy, she's been with this guy for the longest time. I've been with one guy throughout my whole high school life, and then after that I didn't date for a very long time, and then after that I dated somebody who's also somewhere here in the story times, who also did me dirty, and I'm just like trying to figure out this whole dating thing and if I really want to continue with it or not at that point in time. So yeah, she's happily in a relationship with Lebo. It's nice. Okay, and I said like she's 3 years older than me, so at the time when I was in my first year, how old was I in first year? I was 21. Yeah, I was 21 in first year, because remember guys, I dropped out of matric in 2012, and that was it. There's a whole story time about how I went through depression because of my ex-boyfriend and a whole lot of other stuff that happened, and then I dropped out of matric without even realizing I dropped out of matric. So there's a whole story time about that on my channel. But yeah, so when I went to varsity, I was, how old was I? I was 21. Yeah, I was 21 in my first year. I was 21. So okay, so that means that she was 24. So at 24, Lebu has a child with Naledi. They have a daughter, beautiful girl, gorgeous little girly. She's the cutest thing in the world. Actually, she's got the most beautiful hair, and I love that because I always like, she uses my hair products. Her mom buys my hair products and she uses them on her hair, and like I actually just want to make her my little brand ambassador because she's got the most amazing hair ever. Speaking of hair products, guys, look at my skin. I know I'm getting distracted. I know I promised you guys that I was gonna do a whole face beat and take you guys seriously, but please look at how good my skin looks. Look at how I'm glowing. This is because of the intimate care combo that I have from my own products that I make myself. Please follow my business. It's called Blended Ink SA on Instagram and Facebook. And by ink, I don't mean INK. It's Blended Ink SA, Blended Ink as in BLENDED.INCSA. I'm gonna put it down here somewhere so you can see it. So you follow my business page, please guys, and order my products. Support the girl, okay? I need a source of income in all avenues because I've told you guys, Ziakala left, right, and center. It's hard out here. So yeah, so I actually decided to just do a clean face and just put on some lip gloss and look at how beautiful my skin is, right? Okay, so anyways, as I was saying, they have a daughter, right? I don't think it's necessary for us to name the kids, or because now there's going to be too many names in the story and then I'm going to start getting confused and start mixing things up. So there's Amanda, which is baby mama number 1, and then there's now Naledi, which is baby mama number 2. So they have a child. Now Naledi, we get back together, we hit it off. It's life, it's nice, it's groovy, everything is going well. It goes on for years, we're chilling. So Amanda starts becoming problematic after Naledi has a child, right? But she's problematic. But Asmazu Amanda, like I said, she's not from around the same area, but she's that baby mama who's now calling too much. Like she's just cool. Like she's always calling. She calls at weird hours. The child this, the child that. The child wants to talk to you. The child is sick. The child wants to see you. We want to come over for the weekend. Like she's that type of a person, right? Naledi is not staying with Lebu, but they spend a lot of time together, and I mean they've got a child together, so it's one of those things where she's sleeping over a lot, but she's not officially staying with him. So whenever she is around, she picks up on this drama of Amanda always, I need this, I need that, I want to come, whatever. And Lebu tries to like hide it, and he tries to like minimize it by saying, dude, I'm with my person, please stop, type of thing. But Amanda's just not having it. She's not getting it, right? So in any case, Naledi is not the type of person who is very dramatic. She is not the type of girlie who'll snoop around, go through the phone, and do all those other things, right? So she's more of, okay, I'll just take your word for it. You're saying she's just bothering you. It's just typical baby mama drama. It's not that deep. Cool, I'll take your word for it. You've never really given me a reason to doubt you. Okay, sharp. Now, so let's assume that they had the child in 2016, and now I've graduated, so I'm back home, so it's 2019, and the child is around, my maths is bad, the child is around 3. at that time. And yeah, my maths is really bad because I'm trying to think about how old the child would be now, the first child. Okay, cool. So if Mila doesn't stop touching me, licking me, if she doesn't, like, the moment she learned to climb on this couch, she became a problem in my life. She's like a brand new problem that I have in my life, and she just, even if you put her down, she just gets back on, and I don't know what to do. Anyways, I'm sorry guys, let me take a sip. Savannah will always be famous. You will always be famous, my girl. You'll always be famous. Anyways, so now it's around 2019. I'm back. So there's a time that Lebu disappears for a while, but I can't really call it a disappearance. Lebu works. He's a soldier, and every now and then they get deployed. They move from this place to this place to this place. I don't really know how soldiers in South Africa work. I don't really know what they're doing. No offense to soldiers, by the way. I really genuinely honestly don't know what they're doing when they deploy them to this place or that place or whatnot. I have no idea what's going on there. But he moves from time to time to this place, and he stays there for a couple of months or so, and then he moves to a different place, and then he comes back home, and then that's the cycle. And then he quits. He stopped, like he left the army. But for some reason, this one time it didn't add up. He said that he had some important work to do, and then he left. He goes to some place. He tells her that he's going, let's just say he said he's going to Eastern Cape, right? For argument's sake, let's just say he said he's going to Eastern Cape. Where do we live? In Mpumalanga, in Nelspruit. Okay, he's going to Eastern Cape for a week. That's fine. My man is going to be back. He goes. There's nothing to be suspicious about. It's just, it's life. Okay, so una lady then comes to visit me. This is where now all the weird stuff starts happening. But now we're all having like an aha type of moment, right? We're having an aha moment because it's like, we should have seen this, right? Okay, so he goes, we have a Rasha, and a lady comes and visits me. So I live alone at home in Nelspruit most of the time, like 99% of the time. And so usually my friends will come over, we'll sleep over, we'll go out on dates and so forth. So she comes over, her mom is babysitting her kid. It's one of those things, and the kid is grown at this time. It's not really like you need to nagagela the swine, right? So she comes, she visits me, it's all chilled. So while we're still chilling, the one time we're out, we're having like a dinner type of thing. So she gets a friend request on Facebook, right? And she's like, I'm getting a friend request from Amanda. So the weird thing is that we don't know Amanda like that. Like Amanda. Like Amanda is not a person that has been met, but Lebu has said that he wants to introduce Amanda to Naledi because like they're both his baby mamas. So he kind of just wants his kids to have like a relationship, like the brother, which is the firstborn, to have a relationship with the little girl. Okay, that's fair. It makes sense, right? But for some reason, it just hasn't happened over the years, right? It's always a thing of, because Nakona Amanda doesn't stay around, it's just like one day it will happen, we'll make it happen type of thing. So Amanda sends a friend request to Naledi while I'm with Naledi. Naledi's like, hey, I'm getting a friend request from Amanda. So it turns out it is that Amanda, because we know her surname, and we know the drama about her dad being a certain PK and what. So we're like, oh, okay. We go through her pictures. She's cute, nice. She doesn't post a lot. She's one of those people that are not active like on social media. She's just there and likes other people's stuff and reposts other people's stuff, but she doesn't really post a lot, right? So funny enough, as soon as Naledi accepts the friend request while we're still chilling, a few hours later, Amanda, I assume, saw that Naledi accepted the friend request. Her relationship status changes from single on Facebook to married, right? But nobody is tagged. So Amanda is now married. Okay, people on Facebook are weird like that. I think my relationship status at some point was also married, but that's because I genuinely believed that my ex and I were going to get married. And at some point, the guy put me a ring. It was a whole, my fiance, I'm going to get married to him. And I changed my relationship status to engaged, and then I changed it to married, and then I changed my surname to his surname at some point. I was very delulu like that, okay? So yeah, we're like, okay, maybe she's delulu, or maybe she's actually just changing it for vibes. We don't know, we don't care, right? When is Lebo coming back? Well, no, he's coming back at the end of this week. Okay, grand sharp, fine. Lebo comes back. Nothing is odd about Lebo. Life goes on. Naledi goes back to her man. Everything is fine. Life goes on. But Amanda is calling a lot now. Like, she's calling a lot more often now, right? And then so Naledi calls me and she tells me, you know what, I don't understand what's going on with this Amanda girl. She sent me that friend request, and then I also noticed that on Facebook she likes posting like weird petty and things, and it's like she's directing those things at me. I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but like legit I'm starting to feel as though like she's sending me like signals, you know, because girls are very petty and we tend to like post things online where it's directed at somebody and you don't tell the person directly. So you just post like a meme or a quote, or you just post a status and you say something, but you're not being like direct. So she'd post weird things like you show that you're the wife, but that time you don't even know your man is, like weird stuff like that, you know, like women are so stupid, how you get him is how you lose him, that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, but how did you get him? Did you steal him from this girl or what? Yabo. So I'm just like, we're overthinking it. It's not that deep, you know. I mean, you didn't steal this guy, right? You just met this guy and he has a slash and that's it. So there's nothing to feel some type of way about. Long story short, eventually Lebo starts acting very funny. He starts telling the lady that he wants to marry her. He starts making very impulsive decisions. Let's get married, let's buy a house, let's do 1 2 3, let's do 1 2 3. And okay, so Naledi's doing well. She's well off. She's got a good job. I can't tell you guys what she does, because as soon as I tell you guys what she does, I've already said the man is a soldier. It's gonna start clicking who exactly I'm talking about. So she's got a good job, you know. She's good. She's well off. So he's like, yeah, let's get a car, let's get like a new house, like and together and all of that, and wada. In fact, she's doing much better than he is financially. Like, she's doing good. And yeah, he's got his own businesses and all of that stuff. He's also doing well, but like she's doing really well. So they then decide to get a house together, and they start living together with the child as well. But the child on weekends goes to Naledi's mom's. You know, weekends she's granny's child, during the week she's mom and dad's child with the nanny, and she goes to school. Okay, as soon as they start living together, it's one of those things where Ulebo has gone to now Naledi's house and he's introduced himself as Mkhwenyana, and he's made his intention clear that he wants to marry Naledi. So Naledi also conveys the message to her parents. Kutiye convey the message to the uncles. Kuri a date must be set. And you know, letters and all of that. So Ulebu sends a letter. He sends a letter saying, okay, bonel bloom in your garden and I want to pick it. I saw a flower in your garden and I want to pick it. So that's basically a lobola proposal, right? Sending it to the family, being like, yo, I like your daughter and I want to marry your daughter. Sharp. The parents respond. Vele families are interacting, uncles, wada. They set a date. Naledi calls me, she's like, friend, Tungisa, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, bet, of course, right? So now Naledi finds out that she's pregnant again for the second time. So she's about 2-3 months pregnant at the time when she finds out, and she's about to, the lobola thing is about to happen. So obviously, you know, pregnant people, she's panicking about, yeah, I'm gonna be so fat on the day, it's like in a month's time, wada, you know, and she's having all these hormonal things, and she's having breakdowns and all of that, and we're all just like, child, chill, it's not that deep. And you're a small person, like you've got a small body, it's really not that deep. You couldn't even see it. I mean, we still can't even see it. Cool, it's that banter, it's that kind of chat, whatever. How? Okay, so we go to the engagement party. Guy buys her a ring and everything, but it's something very intimate, and they have like a whole engagement party with like her friends and her family. Another thing about Naledi, she's not a person that likes friends very much, so she had a very, very small circle of people that were there, and it was a very, very intimate thing. Sharp, we go, we enjoy, get danced, it's a bright after that, you know, it's that type of thing. It's a nice day. We enjoy the entire weekend. Actually, I spent the entire weekend lit, like we were all just lit. Also, my lady likes drinking, so her and I were lit, and so does Lebu. So all of us were lit actually the whole weekend. Nobody was ever like not lit. We had the time of our lives. Okay, sharp. And then the date of the lobola is set for, I think, 3 months, like the actual lobola wedding, traditional wedding ceremony. It's set for like 3 months, wada, and Naledi's just like, no, she doesn't want to do it in 3 months time because she's going to be very, very heavily pregnant. So can they rather do it like after she gives birth to the second child? She's gonna need some time to get off the she's just very paranoid about her weight, and Lebu's just like, whatever you want, princess, but I would have hoped the sooner the better, right? So what they decide to do then is that they decide that, you know what, we can still do the customary marriage lobola traditional wedding thing later, but me, I want to marry you now. Like, I want to marry you today. So what do? They go, they agree, no, let's go to Home Affairs. That thing is 70 something rand. So sign a certificate, la payana, and we will be married, right? And then we will have a lunch type of thing. And then later on, when I am not looking the way that I am looking with the big nose and everything, we can have a big traditional wedding, and then eventually we will have a big white wedding. So they do that. They go to Home Affairs. Home Affairs, when they get to Home Affairs says, no, both of you are single individuals. None of you are married. Now, from today forward, you are going to be officially married. Good. Now she's got pep. She's emphasis well pep. She goes home, life goes on. She gives birth. Immediately after giving birth, the jokes begin to write themselves. So immediately after giving birth, she's at home now, she's not working, she's taking maternity leave and whatnot. Guy is busy with his businesses, he's living his best life. Randomly, somebody comes to their house, knocks. Okay, she goes, she opens the door. Kemang, Amanda. Okay, this is strange. This is definitely the Amanda girl. Amanda is like, hey, how are you? I'd like to talk to you. Where's Lebu? This one is like, yo, Lebu's at work, I don't know, but yeah, he'll be back later on. Come on in. Yeah, but Amanda's even with the old boy, the son, right? But that's the thing, she's with the son, but she's also with another baby, an infant, more or less the same age as Naledi's baby. So I mean, Naledi doesn't think of anything of it. Like, what could it be? Like, what could it possibly be? This person hasn't really been in our lives, so what could it possibly be? Hi, they sit down. Naledi obviously offers her food. She calls me, she's like, hey bruh, you know, this girl is here now. She hasn't posted her weird things in a while, but she's here now and she's got a baby and she looks very serious, and she says she wants to talk to me and she wants to talk to Lebo. I don't know what it could be about. I'm like, just hear her out, be nice. Excuse me, you never know what she wants to say. Maybe she's going through something, maybe she needs assistance and type of thing like that. But because now you guys are married, maybe she like maybe she's trying to be respectful, so she doesn't want to keep calling him or asking him for things outside of your marriage. So it could be that she needs something, but she's trying to be transparent, and you know, she's got new ground rules, maybe for more maintenance, who knows, like it could be anything sharp. So we leave it at that it could be anything. Okay. Thingy, Naledi calls Lebo and tells Lebo, Amanda is here. Lebo is like, tell her to leave. Amanda's Naledi is just like, I don't understand, like just come home. He's like, no, tell her to leave immediately. I'm not coming back while she's there. What is she saying? Wada. And Naledi is like, dude, stop being hysterical. This girl hasn't said anything. She says she wants to talk to us. It's serious. Just come back home and then we will all talk and then she can leave. But she's come here with a baby. And I can't just tell her to leave because she's traveled from far, and I didn't even know that this girl is all the way from Eastern Cape. Kring, kring. Remember what I said about how he went to Eastern Cape for a week? So now she's here, and now we know where she's actually from. Okay, cool. So Lebo sounds to be panicking. The lady calls me, she's like, yo, Lebo's freaking out. She's telling me I must kick this girl out, and I'm like, why? So now I'm suspecting something. I'm just like, well, you just said she's from Eastern Cape. Remember that week when you came to sleep over at my house, you said he was in Eastern Cape. Like, you said he came back when he was acting a little bit funny. I don't know. 2 and 2 together? I don't know. Maybe she's about to tell you something very serious. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to kick her out. Just wait for the man to come back. Even if he doesn't come back today, wait for that man to come back so he can explain himself. Also, this thing can be explained. So eventually Lebo comes back. He's angry, evidently. And he's there on some, why did you come here? He's shouting at Amanda, and Amanda is just like, I've got every right to be here. You went and got married behind my back. I just had another child with you. You told me that you and Mugeli had broken up, and now she also has a child, and you guys got married. How do you know that we got married? No, because I speak to one of your cousins, and one of your cousins told me. How? Okay. Why do you speak to my cousins? No, because we've always been like in touch type of thing. She told me there was supposed to be a traditional wedding type of thing, and like it didn't happen because because Naledi was pregnant and she didn't want the whole big thing, so she wanted to just do something small. And so you opted that you guys go get married without the whole traditional thingamajiggy. So now I want to understand, how do you marry her when you're still married to me? See? Now, this is where the confusion starts. What do you mean, how does he marry you while he's still married to you? First of all, you're just a baby mama. Second of all, whose baby is that, right? There's just so much going on, and there's so much coming out in such an inappropriate manner. And this girl's obviously livid, and Naledi's obviously in shock. And this man is obviously in denial. Like, he's just like, hey, it's not what you think, it's not what you think, I can explain. And the lady's like, what the hell is there to explain? Like, what does she mean, Uti, you guys just had a baby? Like, you mean to tell me that we both had we were pregnant at the same time, and we both had like kids at the very same time, and then you married me in civil law, but you're married to this girl as well? Like, how are you guys married? Because at Home Affairs, where you guys are not married. So now the girl is like, yeah, in terms of Home Affairs, we didn't actually go and register the certificate at Home Affairs. But this guy, lobola, this guy came to my house, there was a celebration, there's this, that, and the other. All of that happened. And the lady's just like, wait a minute, just wait a damn minute. Now I know that this guy paid damages. As for Uti, he lobola you, that's a completely different thing. And lobola and damages are two different things. And this girl is like, Suri, I'm not a dummy. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm married to this guy. So technically, I'm married to this guy even in community of property. In terms of this law. And your marriage does not exist. I need to have a drink because That was my exact reaction when a lady called me crying, telling me the story. I was like, I need a drink, because girl didn't lie. Amanda is right. She's onto something. We keep telling people every day, it's just because you lobola somebody, and then you guys had a fight, and then you decided, when are you moving on with your life? And given you guys go 5 years, 10 years without talking and whatnot, one person can still come back and be like, hey, you are my husband, I now want to marry somebody else, so I want a divorce. Or worst case scenario, one person comes when the other person has died and says, hey, this was my husband, I want 50% of that estate. And that's what people don't understand about marriage in customary law marriage, right? People think that ilobola is just a family gathering, really, where families just talk about their intentions to marry one another, and it's not an actual wedding. People, especially, and it bothers me because especially black people, like as an African child, you should know that a wedding is not just a white wedding where you're wearing a white dress. That's actually white people's things. Tina, we can get married in customary laws. Man, why is my language leaving me now all of a sudden? It will come back to me. But wearing our own traditional attire and so forth and so forth, and our customs are completely different to that of other people. So this guy didn't just pay damages, and then they broke up. But their breakup was that thing of him, he's going to work, or at least that's what he told her, and she's going to study. And that's exactly what she did. So the reason she was so unproblematic in this relationship in the beginning was because Muga was moving on with her life, busy studying, knowing that her and her man were eventually going to move in together and live together and so forth. And then they had their differences, and this one started dating Naledi. And girl was just like, oh, whatever. And at the time, like, life went on. But the point is, they were still married, right? And then there was a child involved. And then guys started telling girl, no, yeah, we have a child with una lady, but now we're just co-parenting type of thing. And girl loves her person, she loves her man, that's her husband, that's her man, and that's who she's gonna stick beside, because we ladies can be losers like that. And so Amanda didn't also communicate with Naledi, because she's also got the same personality as Naledi. She's not the type of girl with my drama, nan. So, but she started losing her shit when she was busy writing weird statuses on Facebook and stuff after she invited Naledi. So she explains to Naledi, you know what, I actually wanted to ask you, but also you were not posting relationship content, so I didn't have any grounds to actually really come to you woman to woman and be like, are you still with Ulebu? Because Lebu was telling me that you guys are not still together, but it was very awkward for me every time I'm phoning Lebu, like at certain hours or on certain days he'd be offish, other days he's all lovey-dovey with video calling, other days I'm calling him and he barely wants to talk, right? And I specifically felt very, very lonely throughout my second pregnancy, because it's like he wasn't there or he was occupied with other things. He told me he was buying a new house and all of that for us. He didn't tell me anything about buying a new house with you. Heban, it's God. I'm even feeling sweaty from the story, because guys, I can't make this shit up. But you know, those that are my studies know that there's always receipts for everything, but I can't post receipts now because this is my friend's life that we're talking about, and she just gave me permission to do the story time, and she was just like, do your story time, but don't let it slip, child, because if I catch you slipping, yeah, it's gonna be on. But yeah, so now there's a situation of this one has a marriage certificate from Home Affairs, and this one is saying, no, but we also have a letter and the whole ceremony did happen. So in any case, even though we didn't register the marriage is still valid. So your marriage is invalid, basically. So, you wish. Now I'm a lawyer. Now I'm qualified. Now it's like, what must happen now? Because this is a mess, right? You've invested so much in not just the relationship with this guy, you've got 2 kids with him now, but you've also invested so much financially, right? And even like the the stuff that you built together, the house that you have together, the business that he's got going on, you funded that and all of that, and you know it's been growing and all of that, because he was employed and then he quit and stuff, but she also contributed a substantial amount to that business, and that business has grown a lot, and there's just a whole lot of other things that they've accomplished and gotten together. And here's this person coming out to say that we're now married in community of property, and it's just a mess. So now it's like for family meeting, and obviously now you need to you need to get a lawyer to intervene. And I'm just like, yes, bruh, like it can be true if she can prove that there was like a lobola negotiation, the families did come together, they did celebrate in accordance to their customs, even if one of the requirements is not there. The fact that they are both of consenting age, the fact that they've both got mental capacity, the fact that there was a negotiation that was entered into between the two families, the fact that they had a celebration, like the fact that they handed her over, they exchanged gifts, they had a whole family lunch with gogi where they were matching and all of that stuff, that demonstrates to us that a marriage actually did take place. So just because they didn't actually go to Home Office to go and register the customary marriage, it doesn't mean that it didn't happen. So in terms of the law, because that lobola thing happened, these people are actually married in community of property. See? So now here's a mess. She's married in community of property, and she also married in community of property, but your marriage is invalid. Your marriage is invalid. And so that's how the story goes. And so now it was a legal battle of what must they do. He obviously Naledi's like, I can't be with you, because also he betrayed them at the same time. Like this one is also pregnant and this one is also pregnant at the same time. But his explanation was that he went to go and tell Amanda, but Amanda then says technically they were breaking up during the time when she got pregnant, because he said he wanted to break up and that he was thinking of being alone, but then somehow they ended up reconciling within that week, and that's the week that the child was conceived. And this is the same time when he comes back. Now another child is conceived with Naledi, and then he decides, actually I want to be with Naledi, but I need to do things as quickly as possible. So he deceived the both of them. He told that one that no, I'm going to prepare, I'm getting a house and everything, and then we'll move in together. After he made a blunder that side, and then he came back this side and he's like, let's get a house quickly, let's get married quickly, and all of these things. And he did all of these things, and he manipulated both of these women. So now both of these women are scorned, and both of these women are just like, we both won out. Like, we can't be with this person who lied to the both of us. You made us both fools. And they both like really well established beautiful women who can be with any man, but also they've both got 2 kids. They both married to this gentleman. So his thing is that he didn't know that he was married to Naledi because they broke up and they've been separated for such a long time. Not Naledi, Amanda. And according to him, the marriage wasn't registered, and according to him, Futhi Lobola is not even like a real marriage. Yeah, now I'm Lobola Vele, because he wanted to marry her, but they didn't actually make it to the aisle. But that's not what the law says. So that's the ignorance of the law, and that's like some of the things that a lot of people are getting themselves into daily. We see it daily happening, where people are like, I got Lobola Mundu 10 years back. I haven't been with her for 6 years now. We don't even talk, that type of thing. And then chigi, this person passes away, and here's the 6-year-old spouse showing up to say, Khore, I've got proof that I'm the rightful wife or rightful husband of this person, and I'm entitled to everything here. Everything is mine. Then you realize, Uba, actually listen to us when we tell you that don't get married. Don't get these things of lobola without an antenuptial contract. And you know, even when it's like a civil marriage, please just have your antenuptial contracts in place. Go and consult a lawyer. There's free lawyers. There's free lawyers in the world. It's not just us that charge. There's legal aid. There's just go and ask somebody. I don't know how much, but 80 rand or something per month, so that you can get legal help. I'm pretty sure somebody can give you solid advice before you make a big decision like getting married, because it is a lifetime decision and it's a contractual decision, like it's an obligation. Like there's obligations that arise out of marriage, and it's not just because we think that you guys are going to divorce when we say, yeah, don't get married in community of property. It's not because we think you guys are going to divorce, or we think that you guys don't love each other, or we're jealous of you guys. It's because we know the consequences of those kind of marriages in community of property. Not just that, if you get married in community of property and then you have debts, your partner or your spouse automatically inherits all of those debts. Those liabilities automatically become your partner's liabilities from the time you get married, liabilities that you came with, liabilities that you leave after. So people don't understand that. That's one of the things that we always emphasize on. Like, just because you guys are getting lobola, that lobola, you must have an antenuptial contract in place, to state what I accumulate is mine, what you accumulate is yours, or what we accumulate together is ours, but what I came with belongs to me, and what you came with belongs to you. But people don't do that, and then you find yourself in this big shitty situation where, for instance, like Ulebu is a business person. You go and you make a bad business decision, or you make a risky business decision, because business is a risk. Every day when you're in business, you're always taking a risk. There's a possibility that things might work out, there's a possibility that things might not work out. And if, for instance, that day you make a bad business decision and then you lose all your money, and then, for instance, now they need to liquidate you, you get liquidated with your spouse. So even if your spouse is got R1 million in their account, but you got liquidated, Nabo, they can't get you out of that debt, because automatically that debt also forms part of their estate. You understand what I mean? So those are the very more serious risks that there are to community of property. Your spouse goes and has babies outside of the marriage. You are obligated to maintain those kids, even though you are not the mother or the father of those kids. It's just not worth it. Like, it doesn't make any sense right now. Back then, when women were less liberated, women couldn't work, it was understandable that you didn't have an option. You would just get married in whatever marital regime there is without asking any questions. But you should ask questions now, because you can be a breadwinner now. You can be even more successful in the marriage, and more often than not, men are the ones that are deceiving women, because a man is usually the one with scandals. He dies. I don't know, for some reason men always die first. Maybe it's because they live risky lives, God forbid. That's just a joke, but it's for real. But they die, and then chigi there's wives coming out of nowhere to say, I was married to this person. And then you're asking yourself, Huri, like, how? Or they come and they tell you that I've got 3 kids with this man, we had a family, and this was a side chick, but you were married. Now you have to maintain his kids. Or now you had 2 kids and now there's 5 kids, and which means the estate needs to be divided equally amongst those 5 kids, and there's no escaping it. When it comes to children, section 28 of the Constitution is very clear. Children are of paramount importance. So it means that if there are 5 kids, all of them are entitled to their father's estates, deceased estates. That's just the law of succession. There's nothing you can do about it. You see what I mean? So there's all of these things. So now here's Naledi in this weird ass situation with this person who thought, or who lied rather, and said that no, Mina, I only paid damages, knowing very well that he paid lobola, and he deceived her. And he also deceived this one and said, no, we're going to be together. So this one is still hanging on there, knowing that she's Mrs., with the hope of, we're getting our lives together, we're going to get back together. And this one is thinking we're starting our lives together. Now it's a mess. So as we speak, I'm not really sure what's going on right now. I'm not her lawyer, but I mean, obviously she's my friend. She tells me, she gives me updates every now and then. The last time we spoke, she had just moved out and they're selling the house, obviously, because she's not going to stay with that guy. And I don't know about Amanda. Amanda's not my friend, but apparently Naledi and Amanda are in contact, and they are trying to just like raise their kids as siblings and do the whole co-parenting thing the healthy way, and not blame one another for something that this man did to them. So that is the rainbow or the silver lining in this entire story. Like, for the first time, women are not fighting one another, they are fighting the perpetrator in the story, right? And so I love that for them, actually. I think that's so healthy. I think that's amazing. The kids also need to grow up knowing that they are siblings, even if they're half siblings, that type of thing. And yeah, I guess that's where the story is now. And I just gave you guys a whole lesson on customary law. Go and read up on customary law. Read up on what happened to Double HP and Lerato. I think her surname is Molloy. Is her surname Molloy? I think her surname was Muloy. I'm not sure. Just read up the case law. But basically, that was one of the leading cases, actually. But like, obviously, there's been new cases that have developed after that. There's very recent judgments. But read up on customary law. Read up the requirements. Read up how easy it is to get yourself into this mess without even, you know, realizing. Listen to us when we tell you, do not get married in community of property. It's a scam. It's a trap. Don't do it. So yes, guys, I think it's like 55 minutes now, and whew, it's getting hotter and hotter up in here. So this is where I leave the story. Maybe there'll be a part 2. Hopefully there'll be a part 2 if Naledi gives me an opportunity. Actually, she might actually come and sit here and tell us the story herself. That would actually be nice. I'm gonna try and pursue her to do that. I'm gonna try and convince her to do that, so she can tell us the part 2, and we can tell you guys what happened in court, because obviously. So yeah, welcome. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the story. I hope you learned something. I hope you're gonna tell your friends, and you're gonna break up with people officially. Divorce those people that you lobola, that you're no longer with. Go and ask the court for a decree. Go and get a lawyer to go and get a decree of divorce for you, because that's the only way to undo it. You need to get that decree, right? Well, annul the marriage. But yes, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications, as well as share the story. Don't mind clicking on the next story and enjoy the next story as well. Click on as many stories as you can, actually, and enjoy them, and just, you know, like, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and share. Until next time, thank you guys. Bye. Mwah.